This is a video chart presentation of UrtheCast Corp. UrtheCast trades on Toronto Stock Exchange, our ticker UR. Much like the US listed technical stock we picked, Zynga Inc., this chart's been in a serious downtrend since March. Seems to have found a base. We're going to mark that $1.23 area as our definitive stop loss. But with that base being held, Bollinger Band's pretty tight, and stock actually in a little bit of a descending triangle type of look to it. Looks like the chart's getting squeezed into making a decision where it's going to try and break this downward trend or fall through this support. Lending to that idea, the MACD is climbing back towards zero. A little bit of a make or break point. We're going to see if this MACD is going to make that break into positive territory, or if it's going to collapse, trying to make that move to bullishness and just fall lower, which in case it'll probably fall through that support. So we are going to watch this in the coming days and see if the trend's going to start to take on a more bullish look. Now we're not getting a great deal from the slow stow, down very low. Stock's trading in a pretty tight range. There's no momentum to speak of, and as such the slow stow's down pretty low. In the grander scheme, we want to see it over top of 50, show that the bulls have control of momentum. Money flow index, just kind of trending around that 40 to 50 range, leaning towards the bearish side of things. Again, we want to see it on the upper half of the indicator over top of 50, indicate people are paying higher prices for the stock. But with just stuck in this range, not really doing much of anything, not getting a great deal from the MFI at all. That pattern's pretty much holding true with the RSI. You can see the 14 at 46. Pretty neutral reading, suggesting a little bit of a battle between the bulls and bears for momentum. But one thing to take note of, very difficult time for the RSI to move through 50. That's indicative of a weak stock. We want to see it push through 50 and show that the momentum has moved in favor of the bulls and hold over top of that 50 mark. But given the position of this chart, not really a whole lot you'd expect from the indicators. Down at a low price point, so very little movement. Actually adds up to pretty decent percentage gains. You can see only up a nickel, but up almost 4% on Friday. Closed at 134. That keeps our stop loss down here around $1.23. Not too far away from a percentage standpoint either. Now the first thing I'll look for from a static resistance standpoint is right here at $1.40. It's not tremendously strong from a static resistance level, but there's definitely some resistance there, and it's been a hard point for it in the second half of June to move through that $1.40 mark. The 50-day moving average is at 146. Of course, it's moving downward. It's going to lend to resistance at that area, and as it so happens, it essentially ties in with that trend line as well. So while it may not look like a lot outwardly, it's actually a pretty important point, and that's what I'm going to be looking for the price per share to try and push through. The next point I'd be looking for is $1.60, as that's a little bit more formidable of a static resistance level, but from current price points, that's a pretty nice gain. And what I'm looking for is an overall reversal from this chart to see if this is going to be identified as a multiple bottom pattern, and that point right there at $1.60 is going to be pretty important for this chart to try and reverse course and make something out of this pattern. Now you can see, because this is stair step down, there's a lot of resistance in the way. You can pick a spot, pick $1.80. There's going to be some, definitely going to be some more at $2. Again, some more at $2.20, more up here around $2.40. But that's just the nature of the beast when a stock stair steps downward like this. And I don't get too wrapped up in it. Right now, I look for this support to absolutely stay intact. Any break below that, there's nothing in sight. So that's a key support level. And I just look for baby steps upward to see if it's going to break out of this pattern. And then I look to see where more definitive resistance points are going to be established. This is a pretty thinly traded stock, only 159,000 shares traded on Friday. Ultimately, that's probably somewhere around a 3-month average for it. You can see it says some days where barely any shares trade, and a good day for it would be up near 1 million. So all I'd want to see really now is take notice of how volume's been declining off this multiple bottom, and I'd look for an increase in volume to show that people are seeing this as a buying opportunity off this support point. So those are the type of things that we'll be looking for in the UrtheCast chart, but as always, merely my interpretation. I'm not a financial consultant and strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure, and do not base any investment decisions upon any material found on the website and/or this video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.